think we've got Scott Rabalais now. Scott, Happy New Year. How are you?
Hey, Hunt, how's the lack of sleep?
It hasn't been that bad just yet. We've got grandmothers involved. I'm in charge of the midnight feeding, and then I go to sleep and wake up, when I wake up. So I slept last night from like 12:40 to about 6:30. That's not terrible.
Uh, Kids are for the young, that's for sure.
All right. Well, let me first of all, your kind of thoughts as you walk around the Houston area. I know a lot of LSU fans that will go to the game already live there, but is there any sort of presence, any sort of buzz over for the Texas Bowl?
Uh, it's hard to say. I mean, I think probably for Kansas State there might be maybe I've seen a little more. I was just over at Rice University and the band. I tweeted out a little short video. The band, the LSU band, was practicing at Rice Stadium. Of course, the game's at NRG, but so there was that. So I guess my feelings are kind of skewed by that. But you're right. I mean, it's almost a home game for LSU. But everybody knows what a large alumni base Houston is for LSU fans. So I'm sure Kansas State though recruits here as well, and it's big for them too. So it's a little bit of both. But I think it's it's a little bit of a game kind of caught in the middle of the playoffs and the NFL season winding down. Obviously, there's more angst over the little Texans' latest loss than maybe interest in this game so far. But hopefully, it'll be a good matchup tomorrow night.
We shall see. LSU released a depth chart, and y'all have spoken a couple of times to interim coach Davis. Your thoughts on how dire LSU's numbers are at this point?
I mean, I think Wilson Alexander told me he counted 44 scholarship players in the depth charts. There might be a couple more, like Evan Francione or something like that, who's not in there. But I mean, we didn't see Dwight McLaughlin. We didn't see Glenn Logan. We didn't, obviously Ty Davis Price has left. And of course, the big question is, who's going to play quarterback. But it's pretty dire. I mean, LSU still has players. They've got a lot of walk-on players. I mean, they got scholarship-wise, they got like an NFL roster, right now. But it's pretty dire. I mean, and you're not only concerned if you're LSU for this game, of course, but for the future. I mean, they really got to hit the transfer portal hard, as I'm sure y'all talked about on your show. They're allowed 25 signees plus 7 transfers this year. They need every single one of those, and they're still probably going to be built. It's still probably going to take them a couple of years to build up the numbers. So it's going to be a challenge for LSU, but they definitely had a deficit in that regard. I still can't get past the fact that I just feel like LSU is probably the more talented team. They have more good very good to good players than Kansas State does. I mean, Kansas State's stats don't blow you away by any means. So I still give LSU a good chance to win, though. I'm probably going with Kansas State in a low-scoring, ugly game.
You mentioned quarterback. There's a little bit of buzz on the Twitter streets about John Trey Kirkland. What do you expect the offense to look like, and who do you expect to be under center?
I think, I've been thinking all this time that it's going to be John Trey. Yeah, I've heard, around LSU, like the offense is going to be exciting, which sounds to me like, it means, wildcat package and some different looks, from with him at quarterback. And of course, as people know, he played quarterback in high school and was very good. But talking to Brad Davis, he has not revealed. He said they've heard from the NCAA on the appeal for Garrett Nussmeier to try to not have to lose eligibility if he played in the game. He did not say what the NCAA said. I think everyone who covers the team thinks that there's no way the NCAA was going to approve that. They're going to set a precedent. So it'd be up to Garrett whether he wanted to burn a red shirt or not. And at this point, considering the way the kid wanted to play late in the season, maybe we are going to see him. Maybe he's going to do that. I mean, it just doesn't seem not like anyone thinks a red shirt for a quarterback is a viable option this year, or something that you really have to keep in your hip pocket. I think if I was him, I'd want to play now before Miles Brennan comes back, before Walker Howard gets into practice, and Walker, of course, takes a redshirt next year, which he said he's open to. Then it could be Miles and Garrett to be the quarterback, and so he's still got 3 years left. But I don't know. I'm now that I'm just a feeling. I'm starting to trend more towards being Garrett, but though all this time I've been thinking it's going to be John Trey.
If it were John Trey, I mean, you want to talk about having nothing to lose in this game for the coaching staff, for the players. I mean, if they put John Trey Kirkland back there, at least for a sports writer, it may create some fireworks.
Oh, absolutely. It would be outstanding. It would be just so much fun to see him running around there and running the ball, throwing it when he can, hand it off to the running backs LSU has left. I think it would be tremendous and a great story. Like it's the Texas Bowl. You're 6-6. You're going to be 7-6 or 6-7. The coaching staff is changing over. Brian Kelly's going to be watching. He's not going to be coaching, but it's a chance to build a little momentum for next year, but it's not really a lot at stake. If you lose this game, you don't really lose that much. They go out there, pull out the stops, run some trick plays, hand the ball off to a running back and have him lateral it back to John Trey and do something. I mean, just do crazy things. I would welcome that very much. If you made me pick who I'd like to see be at quarterback just for the entertainment value, I would pick John Trey. Though obviously Garrett is a quarterback, by trade. So, but just for the sheer fun of it, that would be very exciting.
Scott Rabalais is our guest. He's over in Houston, Texas Bowl tomorrow between LSU and Kansas State at 8:00. Let's change gears just a little bit here. Rab, what are your thoughts on Mike Denbrock being announced as LSU's offensive coordinator over the weekend?
Well, obviously there's a lot of history with him and Brian Kelly, so that that's a plus, I guess. I assume Brian Kelly went for someone who is of like mind offensively, who's going to he's going to work with and can implement things that he wants. I have not seen a lot of Cincinnati this year. I think they averaged 36, 37 points a game, during the season, and obviously they didn't set my world on fire against Alabama. That's not a huge indictment because it's Alabama, but I would like to have seen a little more, firepower, a little more excitement from them. But I'm very willing to give Brian Kelly all the latitude he needs to build a staff. This is a guy who's done this for over 30 years, the head coach. He knows what he wants. He knows how he wants to build a staff. And it's taken a while. Obviously, so I got one more coach to hire. I think the receivers coach, but it's coming together. I think the way he wants, and there's not a lot of names people are familiar with in South Louisiana, obviously, but you have to trust the process and see where it goes and give him the benefit of the doubt. So, I think on balance, if it's somebody he wants to work with and it's one of the guys he wants, then it's a good hire.
I want to get your thoughts on a big picture thing. I always like to pick your brain on things like that because you've seen so much in the world of college athletics. Your thoughts on the state of bowls right now with the transfer portal, with players refusing to play, getting ready for the draft. Do you have an answer for it? What are your feelings on it right now as we kind of looked at what's going on over the last 3 weeks?
I think college football is in something of a crisis, and I've been trying to formulate some thoughts, and I kind of want to go with this for my column for tomorrow's paper. Leading into the game, this is not sustainable. I just don't think every college athlete is a free agent, and if he or she doesn't like the way practice went Tuesday, they can transfer. I mean, the pro leagues all have regulations. You've got to stay X a number of years with your team and all the pro leagues before you can become a free agent. And so I just don't think this is a very sustainable thing. I mean, like we've seen in college baseball, we're used to guys, like you go from high school. Okay, if you're coming to college, you got to stay 3 years. Maybe it's 2 if your birthday falls right. And of course, college baseball players transfer all the time. And look, but at the same time, everybody loves it when the transfer benefits them, and they hate it when they don't. And hate it when they don't. I mean, having Barry come from Arizona State to be potential, being touted as a preseason National Player of the Year, coming with Jay Johnson, everybody loves that, right? But when Eli Ricks leaves LSU and goes to Alabama, and he's going to be trying to cover your guys next year in Tiger Stadium, everybody hates that, and will boo him, right? So it's all a matter of perspective. I have to say, if coaches like Brian Kelly can leave before their team plays a bowl game, as much as I don't like it, I think Ty Davis-Price kind of left his teammates in the lurch. Quite frankly, I don't see how he's going to benefit that much from leaving now, because I don't think he's going to get drafted. I think he's going to be a free agent or playing in Canada or something like that. But at the same time, if the coaches do it and they can jump around and leave their teams when they're trying to play a big game, then or a bowl game, I can't say that. I think college football has kind of reaped what it has sown, and I don't think it's good though for the sport overall, and I don't think it's good for the fans, who are trying to, have loyalty to these. I think the fans have a lot more loyalty than the kids and the coaches obviously do.
There's no question about that. The fans will be excited, though, this week in the Maravich Center. Huge win for Kim Mulkey's team yesterday. Tigers have Kentucky in the men's tomorrow, and then obviously a huge game for the ladies later in the week. A big week in the PMAC. I'm sure you'll be back for some of that later.
Yeah, obviously, I'm kind of sorry I'm missing the Kentucky game. It's always excited to see Kentucky, and of course the Dale Brown Court thing. And it's going to be a very emotional night. I'm sure it's going to be a great crowd in the PMAC. We'll try to be back for that South Carolina women's game. The women are up to 18 in the net today.
Yep.
It's early in the season, obviously early in the season, but man, this has been this is obviously the men's team is very solid. Win or lose this tomorrow night, they're very solid. And the women's team has just, I think, surpassed any expectation that you could have had for what Kim Mulkey could have done by now. But a very veteran team. She's got like 5 seniors and graduate, graduate players. So that's a big deal. But boy, to get Alexis Morris to go off. People say this Texas A&M LSU thing is not a rivalry. Look, Max Johnson beats Texas A&M, goes to Texas A&M now. Alexis Morris leaves Texas A&M, comes to LSU, beats them scores 30 points yesterday. It's a rivalry, I think.
You don't have to convince me of that. Everyone knows that. I've been very open in my thoughts on the Aggies. Scott, we appreciate some time. Enjoy Houston, and safe travels back.
Thanks so much for watching Hunt Hill on YouTube.
Now do us a favor. Hit the red subscribe button below and throw us a like. See you next time.